Section 2.2, number 11, we have solved this triangle. And when I solve a triangle, I like to set up my table first so I can get a hold of what I know and what I need. So I have my three angles, A, B, and C, and my three sides, A, B, C. And I'm given angle A is 22. And I'm given that angle C is 90. And I'm given that side A is 14 meters. So I can quickly solve for angle B by recognizing that A plus B plus C equals 180 degrees. So B will be equal to 180 degrees minus A and minus C, subtracting A and C from both sides, which is 180 minus 90 minus 22, which gives me that B is 68 degrees. And now I need to solve for B inside C. So C is the hypotenuse, and B is adjacent, the adjacent leg to that angle 22. So if we're talking about angle 22, and I think about so, ka, and toa, we have the hypotenuse. Oh, no, we don't. I'm sorry. We have the opposite leg. We have the opposite, the O, and we don't have the adjacent leg and we don't have hypotenuse, but we also have the angle. So we have what the trig function is, either sine, cosine, or toa. The only one that has two things, there's two things, so I can either choose the sine or tangent. If I chose cosine, then I would be stuck with cosine of 22 equals the adjacent over hypotenuse. I got two variables there and I can't solve for it. So I don't have enough information to use cosine just yet. So I'm not going to use cosine, but I could use sine or tangent. It doesn't really matter which one. So I'll just make a choice. I'll do sine of 22 equals the opposite. Opposite is the 14 meters. And the hypotenuse is C. So this will help me solve for C. So solving for C, if I multiply both sides by C, and then divide by sine of 22, I get this. And that would be a final answer if you don't have a calculator. So I will leave it in that form for right now because that would be the form that I would expect on a test. And then to find B is the adjacent angle. I can use the tangent function to find that one. So tangent of 22 equals the opposite, which is the 14, over the adjacent, which is the thing I don't know. And then solving for B, that gives me 14 divided by tangent of 22. And this is how I would expect to see it on a test. But when I'm doing my homework and I'm checking the answers in the back of the book, I would need to get a decimal to estimate these and make sure I got this right. So for B, that's actually in purple, I got the exact answer is 14 over tan of 22. That's my final answer for a test. And on my homework, I can use a calculator to check that, and I go 14 divided by tangent of 22. And that gives me, I think the directions said round to the nearest hundredths, so that gives me 34.65 meters. I forgot the meters on that. And the other one, C, was 14 divided by sine of 22, which is 14 divided by sine of 22, which gives me 37.37 meters to round. And these are approximates because I'm rounding to the nearest hundredths, which is why it's not as good of an answer. So these are the exact values. Test happy. And these two values you would see on your homework when it says rounded. So it's less accurate, rounded to the nearest hundredths place.